Hi everyone, my name is Shruti Mutalik and I'm just so happy and so excited to be able to do this. My hope is that this is only the first video review in a series in which I share with you some of the authors and the pieces of writing that I've been very inspired by over the years. So over the last several months, I've made a conscious attempt to educate myself about the craft of writing. I read Francine Prose's wonderful Reading Like a Writer. I read Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. I am currently starting the Portable MFA, and I'm listening to one of the great courses called Writing Creative Nonfiction, which actually tells you a lot about writing fiction as well. And in this process, one of the writers that I found extremely educational and I have really loved is Lydia Davis. So these are the collected stories of Lydia Davis. This was gifted to me by a dear friend, Samir, and it's such a mind-blowing gift. It's really opened my world to the possibilities of fiction, how life translates into fiction, what stories can be. Lydia Davis actually has published another collection following this one called Can't and Won't. She is the recipient of the Man Booker International Prize for the year 2013. Lydia Davis is an absolutely remarkable and extraordinary writer. In many ways, she's been described as a writer's writer. I think she's a reader's writer as well as a writer's writer. One of the ways in which I think she's really remarkable is that one of the things that's reiterated in articles about writing is the importance of trimming the fat, the importance of being as deliberate and thoughtful as possible in word selection and eliminating any kind of superfluous words. Mark Twain said that the difference between the right word and the almost right word was like the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. And Lydia Davis really illustrates that beautifully because her words are like distillates of truth. There's an exquisite precision to her prose. Many of her sentences are short, many of her sentences are long, many of them are very long. And the ones that are long and have a lot of clauses, you come away really dazzled by how brilliant they are in very sensitively and perceptively capturing the many nuances of a conflict or an emotion or a moment. Peter Orner from the New York Times very accurately said that Lydia Davis slants your experience. So read enough Lydia Davis stories and they start happening to you. And that's been exactly what my experience was. When I'm on the subway, when I'm at a party, when I'm at a restaurant, I have become more aware of how many Lydia Davis stories I'm witnessing and I am a part of. And I think that it's really mind-blowing when a writer kind of awakens all these possibilities and changes your way of looking at life and what stories mean, as I said. Lydia Davis has also introduced me to flash fiction. She writes some very short stories which convey so much. I don't know if there's an official word limit as far as flash fiction goes. Most flash fiction is under 500 words. Some of the longer pieces are 750, 1,000 words. And one of the oft-quoted examples of flash fiction is the Hemingway 6-word story, For Sale, Baby Shoes Never Worn. There's so much grief in those lines. There's a whole story in there, maybe many stories. And not all flash fiction is that short. In fact, there's a website called 100-Word Story, which actually gives you photo prompts and you can submit your stories. There are many websites out there which publish flash fiction and which also give writing prompts, which I love because they really catalyze my writing. And one of the websites I really like is nanofiction.org. So this is the publication of Nano. And what I love about this website is the stories are really poetic. Many of them they draw from culture, from pop culture, from fairy tales, from legends, from events, historical events. The stories are beautiful, but they also have writing prompts. They also have a section on state of Flash and Flash in the classroom. And given that I'm trying to teach myself to be a better writer, what I found amazing was how some of those essays talk about using flash fiction to teach writing in the classroom setting, and how, by virtue of the length, there is the possibility of thoroughly exploring many of the elements of writing, including character development, tone, flow, themes, etc., etc. I would also strongly encourage you to Google NPR 3-minute fiction. They organized a contest, and I hope they do so again, in which they gave these writing prompts. So, for instance, one of the writing prompts was about writing a story that was a voicemail message. And one of the writing prompts was called Finders Keepers, which was judged by Karen Russell. I'm mentioning this because this is foreshadowing. I am going to, in subsequent videos, talk about Karen Russell. I love her writing. And I'm going to review Vampires in the Lemon Grove and Sleep Donation, an amazing novella by her. I would also strongly recommend the Twitter Tales, the absurdist microfiction of one of my very best friends, Vikram Paralkar. His Twitter handle is VIKRAMPARALKAR. So thank you so much for listening, and I would love to hear all your comments, and I will be back. And see you in a few.